He used a little boy that they called Little Albert, disguising his identity for the purpose of the study, 9 months old, brought him into their laboratory, and they had him see and play with a variety of objects, the mask, monkey, toys, all things that he had, and they even exposed him to a white rat in a cage. He had no reaction to any of these things, but for some reason they decided to use the white rat, and we have continued to use white rats for psychology experiments from that day forward. But they put Little Albert on the floor in the lab, comfortable setting, brought in the white rat in the cage, put it down in front of him, and Little Albert was like, oh. And then somebody came up behind him and hit a metal bar with a hammer and made a loud clanging noise, scaring him. Naturally, Little Albert cried. They took away the rat and soothed him. Then when he was calmed down again and just, sitting there playing normally like a 9-month-old, they brought back in the white rat, put it down again. Albert was like, oh, white rat. Clang and crying. And of course, after repeating this a few times, I'm not really sure how many, but naturally, when they brought the rat back again, Little Albert started to cry as soon as he saw it. Now, this was the conditioning of a phobia. If any of you have a fear with rats, I'm terribly sorry for having mentioned this. It actually is something that people are afraid of. And rats carry diseases. They've been associated with the bubonic plague and biting you and all sorts of rabies, all sorts of things. So there is a rational basis for wanting to avoid rats. But where it becomes irrational is if you will not go around areas where you think there might be rats or where you've heard about rats. New York City, for example, you might want to avoid if you have a fear of rats. They've had a rat control problem. The aftermath of the Little Albert study was they didn't deprogram him or debrief him, as you can't really with a 9-month-old, but pretty soon, Little Albert's mother showed up at Watson's doorstep and it's like, look, you got to fix him. Because not only is he afraid of anything related to white fur, like my white fur coat, he's also afraid of Santa Claus's beard, cotton balls. She rattled off a list of white things, and Little Albert had become afraid of anything soft and white. And this is called generalization. And he had generalized his initial fear of the white rat to anything white and fluffy. This is how things can become fearful in a general kind of way.